Hey guys, welcome to Nerdarchy for Nerds by Nerds. I'm Ted, hanging out with some of the crew here.
Dave.
Nate.
And today we're going to bring you another MageForge. Today we're going to do the Mantle of the Celestial Lion. So sometimes we come up with items, or we come up with a name, or we come up, with powers, and we got to figure out the whole thing.
Basically, we come up with like one aspect, and then we hit record, and then we hammer it out on the video what that means. Honestly, guys, these guys were talking something about Narnia, but it's Saints. Other than that, I have no idea what we're doing here today.
Okay.
All right.
We're getting phone calls or something. I don't know.
So I watched Narnia last night, and spoiler alert, they kill Aslan.
Oh my god! But it's okay. They bring him back.
Hit you with a hammer.
She winds up, wearing this mantle, and I'm like, I think it'd be really cool to say what kind of magic item would that be? Is it a goodly thing because it's coming from Aslan?
Oh yeah, the ice witch. She ends up wearing it.
Yeah. Nate's like, or would it be evil because it's been killed on the stone table and it's this dark act? So I'm like, all right, well let's hash it out. We got the backstory about where it's coming from for D&D-esque terms. We've got a celestial lion. It's not quite a god. Maybe it's demigoddess or a little bit lower, but it's really potent, really good little thing. It's been killed.
Aslan wasn't little. He was pretty big. You ever seen the lion?
Really good little.
Did you see the set on him? He's huge.
Wow. In comparison to a god,
you just shrunk him down to a stuffed animal, to a Beanie Baby.
He had teeth like
huge, sharp, nasty, pointy teeth.
But okay, so Aslan was basically a lion.
Yeah.
With the celestial template, maybe, and he can talk.
Right.
Yes.
So you've got this potently powerful celestial creature thing, whatever qualifier else you want to put on there. It's been killed and turned into this,
and he's been denamed.
Right.
Yeah, and he's been killed on a magical table too. So that's got to mean something.
So what does it wind up doing? If it
was Dresden verse, it'd be like permanent winner.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Totally.
Which is a good thing that it wasn't Dresden verse.
Yes. So all right, so he's got this. So she's got this mantle. It's made out of the mane of a celestial lion. It looks really badass. It didn't do anything in the movie, but we're not going off of that. We're going like, what could it do?
Right.
So mantles in D&D generally mean protection.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have mantles of spell resistance. They do different things like that, or like holy vestments.
Mm-hmm.
So I would think that the magic would probably be defensive in nature.
Okay. Well, let's say, from my standpoint, I said that it would be a goodly item because it's coming from the celestial creature. Nate's like, it's totally, it's been killed and it's been, killed with dark magic. So it should definitely be like, more inclined to evil.
Well, I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be evil in of itself. It could just be simply used for that. So protecting an evil witch would be a good example.
Well, here's the other thing too. The table itself would be neutral.
Right.
You like the table is part of it's even like from the lore of the movie.
Right.
It's kind of like this thing that's
a balancing factor.
Yeah, it's respected by both sides.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's also
I feel like with protection you could go the easy route and say, well, celestial, it would have resistance to necrotic and radiant. It's a thing we could start out just like the base.
Or what if you just go, okay, it's a celestial mane from a lion, it's a mantle, and you just use your base as the mantle of spell resistance.
Okay.
And build the magic item from there.
Mantle of spell resistance does knock stuff over.
Maybe that's not defensive at all.
That's offensive.
So we've already established like who made it. In essence, like this witch made it. We have some of the stuff like why was it made, who made it, and how it was made actually. So even though like an evil person has it and makes it, it's actually made through an act of sacrifice.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So the mantle of spell resistance, wondrous item, rare, requires attunement. You have advantage on saving throws against spells while you wear this cloak.
So that's a base, right? On top of that, maybe we give it a quirk like we might even put a couple quirks on this one because it's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like the one where it can't get dirty.
That's a good one. And
the ability to speak and understand celestial.
That's nice.
Those would be good.
And if you go off the movie, it actually kind of like had a purpose.
Yes.
it became like the kind of like the rallying point for the side of good to in essence Aslan became a martyr, so that the four what's the word I'm looking for? Well, the two queens and two kings could be elevated to their station. He had to sacrifice himself.
So it could have the quirk blissful. While in possession of the item, the bearer feels fortunate and optimistic about what the future holds. You said that it's going to have the minor property of language. You can speak and understand a language of the DM's choice, which would be for this time would be Celestial.
Yeah, I mean, we don't even have to go right off the book anyway. We can just make shit up. It's what we do, right?
Well, I mean, some of the things we just made up happen to also be in the custom magic item.
Well, I don't want to every time we do a MageForge go to the book and just pick things. They can do that at home.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So
that's true. That's true.
So that being said, we Mantle of the Celestial Lion. Now let's take it out of Narnia and drop it into a D&D. We'll drop it into a D&D game. I feel like that would
have some kind of charisma effect in some way. I mean, not necessarily like pluses, but some kind of
advantage on
persuasion or some kind of leadership kind of feel to it.
Well, yeah, I mean, because like I said, even though we're basing it off the Mantle spell resistance, it's just the base. We can build from there. Like we can give it a couple of things. Maybe it has charges.
How about this one? As opposed to just a flat advantage on persuasion rolls, what about really narrowing that down to really when you're trying to use diplomacy to stop people from fighting.
See, or I was actually thinking another way, or lead or command.
Okay.
Because, well, I mean, Lion, Leo, that's kind of like, I think that falls in that domain.
It does, but I mean, I was trying to attribute more towards the the goodly nature of it as opposed to the actual.
Is that a spell that you give a speech for 10 minutes? Is that a paladin spell? A feat. You give a speech, and then everybody gets temporary hit points, and they're like, that's a feat.
It's a feat, but I mean, why we could completely go off the rails and go, hey, maybe it grants that feat to a person that wears it wants to become attuned, which would be a little bit different than any of the other magic items.
Yeah,
and it might be a little. I don't know if it's breaking anything or not, but it's okay. I'm not afraid.
Well, we didn't give it 3 feats
yet.
So far we're giving it a language, we're giving it a feat.
Yeah, there's a player's handbook right there. So it's I think it's leadership.
I believe so.
Is the name of the feat where you do that in the Spelljammer game.
Ryan had it.
Yeah. The Zach Brannigan knockoff had it. I forget exactly.
Inspiring leader. You can spend 10 minutes inspiring your companions, shoring up the resolve to fight. When you do so, choose up to 6 friendly creatures, which can include yourself, within 30 feet of you who can see and hear you and understand you. Each creature can gain temporary hit points equal to your level, plus your charisma modifier. A creature can't gain temporary hit points from this feat again until it has finished a short or long rest.
Yeah, so I think that would actually be kind of cool.
Yeah.
To to give it that, because nothing else is doing that so far, and I think that would raise it up to a legendary. If it grants ability, speaks celestial, it never gets dirty. It always makes the wearer feel good when he's wearing it, and the ability to inspire greatness in others, essentially,
as well as advantage on spells.
Now, is that already a rare item?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I would say a very rare item gives it as that feat is, but if it was legendary, it's got to affect more than 6 people. Just saying, it's got to.
We could. Typically, we're not.
And I would give a flat. I think I might give a flat bonus rather than necessarily
because that's based off of your character level. So I mean, you could do.
Well, you give the item a level equivalent.
So 10 plus your charisma mod.
Or what if it's what if it is really basically it draws off the power of the wearer. So you could really just use the level.
Character level plus your charisma modifier.
Yeah. I mean, if you wanted to bump it up, you could do something like as part of that, you can actually You maybe use the power of like what is the priest one? Third about I can't pronounce it. Thaumaturgy, where with limited to only the effect where you can increase the volume of your voice, and the effect is instead of being up to 6 is everyone that hears you that's friendly. So now it's like that feat on steroids. So like you're literally giving the speech to an army.
Yeah, yes. I think that makes it legendary.
Yes, and then it also does something like even if you have that feat and then you put it on, then there's a reason to wear it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I would go so far as to say if you've got inspiring leader and this thing, that the effects would double for 6 people. I'd go so far as to say that this.
Oh, like you could do. Well, I mean, they would stack in essence. You could then.
Yeah. You're doing one speech and you're getting the advantage of your inspiring leader feat as well as the benefits of the magic item. So for 6 people, it gets doubled. They're going to get if you're 10th level.
I mean, there'd be some wording on that, but yeah, if you had both the feat and the power,
it would just be this feat. This magic item's ability stacks with
Well, or you could just go the other route, and they can actually use it more than once. Like they would get the use from their feat, and they get the use from the magic item as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so they can do the one for the 6 people, and then they did a speech for
an army.
The army,
right?
However that works out.
Yeah, I think that's really good.
You got your
amplification of voice.
You got your leaders in the in the tent. Okay, guys, blah blah blah. This is going on. We're gonna go out there. We're gonna kick their ass. 10 minutes later, you go out and you deliver the speech to everybody.
And it doesn't even have to be like the volume of your voice raises. You can theme it however you want. Like it could really be like even though the guys in the back, they hear it as if they were in the front. Like so that so it's not like I'm screaming in Ted's face if he happens to be in the front row.
Oh,
actually,
you are definitely in front.
I actually like that. It's like you're robust and more powerful speaking, but it just it transfers the voice
as if it basically like line of sight. If you can see them, it sounds like you're 10 feet away from them.
Yeah. Well, or they can see you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That would be a good point that they can see you.
Yeah, because you're the aspiring leader. They're not the aspiring followers. Although that could be a different magic item, Nate.
Well, I meant, line of sight. It does make sense to say them looking at you.
Right. So you've got the Mantle and the Celestial Lion. It is a Mantle and spell resistance. You get advantage on saves against spells. You get the ability to speak Celestial. It will never get dirty. You get essentially the feat Inspiring Leader, although it's different from the Inspiring Leader. And you've got the ability to, when delivering this speech, totally thaumaturge your voice out, to a larger crowd.
Yes.
Well, except that anybody that can see you
hears
you as if you were right in front of them. Yeah. Speaking.
Are we good? Are we locked in on this?
Yeah, I think so, man. I think we did everything we needed to with that.
Do you glow at all?
I don't think you glow.
Or is the mantle so clean that it has, if the sun's out,
you might glow while you're giving the speech.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I think I would let the player kind of like RP that one up however they want it. Let's face it doesn't actually do anything, and it's once a little per short. Yeah,
it just ups the level of awesome. Glowing.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So the people in the back can see you better.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, look over here so you can hear me.
The golden aura surrounds you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we if we're putting it in our world, which we're loosely calling, well, I think we actually did settle on a name and forgot about it.
We did, didn't we?
Yeah, because we got in trouble.
So Griffin Gaff is now considered
the Chimes of Discordia.
Okay.
And so we got in trouble from upper management a little bit about one of our last previous videos we did.
Upper management yelled?
Yeah.
They're here.
They're everywhere.
Didn't realize we had
Big Brother's watching.
So, but that being said, like, so we drew our inspiration from Aslan and Narnia, but that's not actually that's not the backstory for this item.
Right.
Mhm.
That would be something completely different.
Mhm.
So where'd it come from?
Well, we have to have some kind of celestial lion that this was made from. Otherwise, it wouldn't be the mantle of the celestial lion.
Well, that is true.
So for the Chimes of Discordia,
and I like the tones of self-sacrifice.
So we need to figure out, is there a god or godly type creature that this lion would have had to step in on to support something or defend something,
or like what if there's this great war that supposedly is going to happen and these people are going to be overrun and they have no chance of no chance or hope of winning, and it is actually this lion, this being that brought these forces together to try and stop a great evil, and they're just outmatched. But because of the rules that are in place from the gods, he can't intercede personally.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he offs himself in a sense and leaving behind the mantle. Like he just totally sacrifices himself and says, I can't be here in person to aid you, but I can be here in
I can
spirit.
be here in one form or another.
Yeah.
So maybe he misunderstood the rules, thinking that he was going to be allowed to take part in the fight, and one of the greater beings is like, dude, you're not allowed.
It doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that way. And he's like, oh crap.
I would say rather than sacrifice as in perishes or something, that he basically has this taken from him, or he gives it away. He allows it to be taken from him to give to the leader or whoever he deems.
Well, then that's not sacrifice at all.
No, but no, the sacrifice is that he's similar to how like demons get banished from planes when they get defeated, that he loses his powers.
Yeah, he's
whatever
no
level of elevations he is at, he is now almost next to like nothing.
He's a genie's house cat somewhere now.
I would say it actually,
like his mantle, that's like the physical manifestation of where his power lies.
So like it essentially, he doesn't kill himself, but he becomes a regular lion.
Oh, in essence, that would be killing himself.
So yeah, an immortal being saying, "I'm giving up my immortality. Here, take this."
It's not physical death, but death of the.
But what if instead of that, right? Like all that happens that way, and he basically transforms into not a regular lion, but like a mythical creature lion that has lost his divinity and his knowledge, his self-awareness and knowledge. So it's almost like it almost appears like the white buffalo,
okay.
Or the white stag, where it's actually like this thing that's in the world now, and it's usually a portent of omens, and like only because of what it was does it actually comes around when there's need. And it's almost like a warning, even if it doesn't know why it does what it does. Like, so it still has significance and special meaning.
Yeah, I like that.
But now it's this either gold or silver maneless lion.
I like that.
And like you can tell it's the male because he still has the poof on the end of his tail.
Yeah, it's not.
Well, and the dangly bits. The dangly bits always give it away on like a 16-foot lion.
Now, would he enter the regular cycle of life, and there'd be like his progeny so there'd be these white lions or more celestial-esque maneless lions, or would it just be it's just that guy?
I think it's just that guy.
Okay, so would he still be immortal?
No, could do. Yeah, he's still immortal.
Okay,
we could definitely do we have to name this guy at some point now, and we could definitely do his lineage and his children of Fred. That maybe there's something special about them. Not exactly like the way he is, but even we could go the other way and like where he spawns these corrupted children and they're like were-lions or something.
That's. I think we can make that be a world building video.
But yeah, well, that's what I mean. Definitely, like it's not for this one. We've gone way over MageForge with that. So with that, what do you guys think? You like the idea? You hate the idea? You can't stand Narnia? You know, the mantle should be evil now.
You think lions should just be hunted?
Lions should just be hunted? No, we don't believe in that. So like, comment, share, and subscribe.
They should also be eaten.
You can check us out on nerdarchy.com.
You guys join the conversation over on Reddit.
So until next time, stay nerdy.